part 19, parts 20. We are welding the bulkhead back in after all the fabrication work that's been going on. There's a lot of background work been going on to get to this stage so we can be ready to get that bulkhead in position. I've had to line up the bulkhead with the two halves of the bulkhead so that everything fits. A little bit of bashing and tweaking needed just to get it in there, but it's all lined up nice as we needed it to. Now we're going to do the butt welds and the seams and get everything to blend in. So we'll do that now. Start getting some more welds on and just checking the alignment. There's a few little brackets to fit behind. I've done the steering wheel bolt recess, which is these here. I had to put a bolt in and weld it in because they come blank on this one. It's off a facelift, so you get your steering column fits there on the facelift. On the pre-facelift, the bolts on that. So that's been done. We get the light. We can have a see what's been going on behind the scenes here. Sorry about the darkness. It's just that I'm welding over there now, so I've taken the light away. But there we have it. We're getting ourselves a new bulkhead, which is what we needed. It's a bit of a mix and match bulkhead. There's sort of bits off the old one and bits on either side, but all together, once those welds all go in and I grind everything down and paint it all, you're not going to know that's been changed. And that's going to be nice and solid and rust free, which is the name of the game for the car. So we're looking alright. That's A post has gone on, A panel's gone on. We leave the front wing, as you can see how rough that is. That's all coming off. Whole front end's to come off, but this end just starts to, basically the rust starts to disappear bit by bit, and fresh metal starts to spread through the car. That's the way I see it. I've kind of like started from the middle and then worked outwards, so the fresh metal just keeps on coming, and that rust just gets chased down the alleyway and blitzed. So there won't be any rust eventually by the time I've finished. I'll kick its ass right the way out of here. Yeah, there'll be plenty of original car left as well. Those floor pans are original, half the bulkhead's still original. Dashboard and the roof panels will be original. Alright, we've lost a quarter at the back, we've lost a lot of the back end to fresh metal, but the core of the car is still there, and all the running gear, all the engine, all the windscreen glasses, trim, all that's original. So there's going to be bits lost, but you know, it was in a bad state anyway, so what could you do? So I'll set this up on the tripod now. We'll get some filming of the welding work going on, and we'll grind that bulkhead seam in, and then we'll paint that just to see how it looks. So let's see how we start to look on this big major bulkhead job. It's been a long job, a 2-week job. So anyway, let's keep on going. We've got a couple of hours tonight, Friday. So let's see what we can do in that time. I'll do some still shots as well. Okay, let's go. Are you ready? Are you ready? Come on, bulkhead, let's go. Fumes are us. Okay, we're just going to knock that up from the inside, get it straight. Okay, so we're working our way down. There's a gap, a couple of mil, and we're welding against it and pushing back on the welder so the weld goes into the gap and makes a butt weld. So when we grind this flat, we're not grinding the top of the weld off and it's falling apart. The weld is actually between the two layers in the same plane. So when you grind off, you're not taking your weld off, and that's how you do it. You're actually filling the gap with weld. That's how we do it. So we're just going to go for the top piece now here, the last row. Then I've had to do some relief cuts because there is a slight difference in the panel. We're overlapping on the top edge here with the original bulkhead still staying on. I didn't want to cut that off. I was keeping a rib of strength there. I've had to cut some two relief slots, which will now infill with welders as well. So I've just got a tack in there. I can now tap that flush. You might feel some camera shake, I don't know here. We're just behind the speaker panel there. That's flush now, we're going to weld up. Just get your tacks on first, and then you can follow down. Off we go now for the tough part. I'm going to tap it in at the top. Get that snug. Okay, we're coming down. Although we have a continuous butt weld, it's important to get your welder set just right with your current and your wire feed. I've taken a good while of experience work on this car to find what works for me in terms of the feed and the feed speed and the current setting, and without blasting big holes in your panels. So it's quite easy for me now to just carry on working my way down, finish this continuous weld off, and then there's a lower part here. Let's just pan the camera down so you can see. There's a lower part just down by the back of the engine, just there to finish off. I think I might do that now. Hopefully you can see that. You can see the back of the pinto there. Watch, there goes the hammer down the heater hole. Let's fill this in. If you allow the pool of weld to slightly cool between your bursts, it means that when the next bit of welding wire hits it, it's hitting something that's more solid, so the pool doesn't push backwards. The wire pushes back on itself because it's hitting a hard or a semi set pool of basically molten metal. That enables you to push backwards. Otherwise, if you kept on going and trying to draw backwards, it wouldn't have a chance to cool, so it would just blow holes through it. So that's what the pulsing is when you can hear me pulsing the welder. I've found that seems to work in this technique. We're headed our way down now. I think that's as far as I can go there. I'm going to continue cleaning this bit up when the engine and the front end's out, and I can get to this at the right angle, but I've got it fixed in place now, ready to grind down. I'll grind this bit down, I'll grind this and fill this bit up to there, and then when the engine's out and I'm working on the front end proper, I can finalise this and make this really look really smart. So I'll just fill these in now, these relief gaps, the relief holes that we made. Now these will be a little bit tricky because it's quite a big gap and there's not much trajectory. We need to bridge some weld across there. What I've just done for those ones, for that quite big gap, is created little bridges across the big gap by sort of welding either side of the bank, if you will. If it was a cutting a river or something, like, you'd be welding one blob on one side of the bank on the other, and then when they're still hot you swing it across and create a bridge link. That gives you an infill. Now I can work between those infills and fill the gap in with weld. I'm basically welding with filling it with weld rather than putting a piece of metal in there. There's no need. I can fill that. Okay, I'm just clamping up this area now. We're doing the attaching the bulkhead to that nice new top rail there. So we've got the weld clamp on. We get a weld between that weld clamp. We drill some 5mm holes there. All that's lining up, so it's getting some strength in it there. We've done that seam. We're on with that seam weld all the way down to that butt. We can grind that back now if we want. We've gone along the top with some welds. So that's in up close and personal and ready to rock and roll. We've done our Mr. Macker jiggery pokery, and our Tibbo front end's nicely welded in by Cortina.co.uk. Saturday 28th of January 2012, bulkhead welded in as per finished last night on the video. We left you with this last night, little bit of filler on there. We'll do that when the engine's out. Bulkhead in, welded up, car solid. I'm shaking on that, I'm pushing on that, and it's solid. Okay, so now what we want to do, I want to get this seal B-post on. I want that boxed off and out of the way. I want that sill in, but I can't put the sill in because there's a hole in the floor. I've got to get rid of the hole in the floor. Need a floor repair piece. What we got, look over here, floor repair piece just arrived. Okay, so we've chopped up a car that was already scrapped and they had. Mark, I don't know what it was, I think it was a 4 or a 5, already to donate its parts. We're going to be able to liberate this piece. That'll be nice. We're going to liberate this piece. This floor edge here will create what we need to fix this. See, look, we're going to have to get that whole piece and get that seam welded in. That is today's job, is to seam weld in that section of floor. So we'll start by picking off the panels that surround it, and then I'll find where it joins the wheel tub. We'll just separate it from there. We'll make the cut where we need to make the cut, just over the chassis leg. We'll detach it from the chassis, because the chassis leg underneath there, we'll get it off that, and then we shall detach this from the chassis leg, lift that off the chassis leg, cut that out, and away we go. So let's get busy. Let's get on to it. Okay, we've got the floor section out. Took it out of there. Leave that chassis leg there. We're going to need that later stage because this one will be rotten. So we're going to make some cuts now. I'm going to cut straight down there. I'm going to cut along there in an L shape. We're taking an L-shaped piece of metal out of there and replacing it with this. So obviously be cut to the L shape to match that. So away we go. Okay. How about I come back in and we start again? Okay. Omar's okay. Why don't you stop fucking around and start doing business with you? You put yourself together and meet up to. In this world, you've got to get the Cortina first. When you get the Cortina, then you get the power. When you get the power, then you get the girl. Okay, that's that bit done. Let's lift you off. Well, lift off. We take you straight into the action. But that goes like that. There's some spot welds now to take off. You'll see as it runs along the chassis, but I reckon it's that rotten that the spot welds won't even hold this. Look, there's your chassis behind it. Maybe we'll find some coins in the chassis. And then these ones will have to come off. There are some spot welds there. We need to take those off. Let's get them spot welds off, then lift that L shape out. Okay, and then we'll make the L shape with this and then drop that in there like that. Just a note, when they cut this off, I bought the car already chopped up. They've chopped just for me. Obviously they wouldn't know that I needed this at the time, but they chopped too far back. I'm about an 1/2 inch strip missing off the edge of there, so this will need a piece actually welding onto it before it goes on to this car, because it won't reach this lip here, see. But we'll work that out, no problem. Okay, let's get what should we do? Oh yeah, let's get some spot welds drilled off. Okay, we're back after that short 15-minute drill and spot weld removal system. We've got one more spot weld to go. Taking this off here now. That one's gone. Done those, so we've just got this back one to go. Go in a minute. There we go. So that's out. So let's have a look at that. That piece out. Okay, so scrap metal away. Stick it there. There's your good floor pan piece. Straight piece of metal for that. So that's for that. Let's have a look at this chassis. So never been seen before what awaits us in the chassis rail. Now that's what you get in the whole car. I mean, I reckon that's what's rotted it out so bad. I don't think these have saved it. I'm not sure. A few people said they act as like a drying agent, but then I thought, well, that's probably right. But what if they work the reverse way and hold moisture? So, don't know. But that rail, that chassis, we'll have to see if it's totaled or not. Oh, it's not. It's gone. I wonder if you could localise the pattern. Oh no, what's that? Oh my god. No. What's happening? Oh no. Oh yeah. No. Holes. Pickled. Oh my god, I'm straight through. No. No. Disaster. It's like Tufty's had our pants down. We are rotted. Well, that's the chassis leg for you. Wow, look, blue paint. Right, what do you do? Localise repair patches or replace the whole section? Replace the whole section, it's shot to hell. Alright, another job to do, it's got to be done. But obviously, as you know, this connects that swing arm now to the back there, and that becomes, again, that becomes a structural issue. What I'm concerned with doing at the moment is getting that floor back on and the sills back on, because I could flip this upside down, take the axle off, flip the car on its side and replace these chassis legs when it's on its side. Obviously I'll have to drill from this side to get the spot welds off, but we could cut and shut the leg if it's alright above the axle. You know, we could take out the piece which is gone, and we've got one on that car. That's you know, just one of them jobs which towards the end, when I've got the chassis solid, the floors are on, I'll take the running gear off the front, and then I can flip the car on its side, which has got a bit more strength in it with the sills being fitted. So yeah, well, it's another thing to do. I knew they were bad, so let's get on and fit the floor, and we'll just rest the floor on top of that. We won't secure it to it, we'll just leave it on. At least we can get that shape. Okay, let's go. Paneling ready for welding. Sort of get ready to stick some welds in there now.
And not just pump, also install. We will be back in 2 weeks' time. We're on here next week. Tom Ravenscroft will be in the chair. Yes, we will see you in 2 weeks, in February. Thanks so much. Sorry for being around reading out your text, by the way, but I'll probably read them all out in February. Now let's get right on down to the stick. I think it was brought into a world of pits. And if we could have taught that scene in a delivery room, they would have asked to learn for a hit. The reason for this, the mother is a jerk. Excuse me, junkies brought the work of the old into a new like runaway. But this runaway has been a winner today. Anyway, push to the junkies to understand a path to a base that the humans should have wasted in the first place. Let's separate from believers and believers will walk through a door and talk to his hand say, y'all can't have none of that. Tell her what to say, ladies.
Craig Charles, he's got some fun for us.
Tonight from midnight, it's Don Letts from 10, the 6 Mix. Right now, it's the Craig Charles Funk and Soul Show.
Alright, well, we're looking good. We've seen welded in. Just lining up this new floor edge there. It's going to fit there and there. Just a nice edge for the sill to go on. We'll have to. This is a pattern panel. It needs to be just shaped to fit this edge. Probably only going to need that bit on it, so we'll cut that to fit. That's it for today. That's it for Saturday night. Is signing off. We've got to go out, so we're signing off. Yeah, so we're looking good. We are looking good.
Mrs. H.
Sounds like me.
Signing off for tonight. We'll resume Sunday. So we're getting more solid all the time.
Last night, you took the roof off. Please can I have a shout out for Justin, John, Paul, and Tracy and Steve.
Well, I'll show you all that around there. Guided tour of the works. And now the work. Bit of product placement there.
Slowly cook it in the oven. Please could you play Donny Hathaway's